Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you for the rest of the worst albums of 2022 part 2 video for the official video. Sorry it took me a little bit to get this next video recorded for you guys and being premiered. It's probably going to premiere like 8 or 8:30, so you may have to wait a few hour period to see the rest of it, of course, on the November 20th. So, yeah. This is going to be for the rest of it from numbers 9 to 1 that I left off at. The last album I talked about was Soulfly Totem on the last part of the first part for the last section of it. So I'm going to discuss from 9 to 1 what I think are on this list and all that and let you know my thoughts on it. So let's dive into the rest of this worst albums of 2022 part 2 video. Number 9 is Future, I Never Liked You. I personally was not connecting with this album this year. It was not very good in my opinion, and the pacing for it was way off, and the lyrics to the album did not make any sense. Like, it didn't fit with the album, of course. And the album title is cringe too. I Never Liked You. Honestly, Future has made some cringy stuff nowadays, and his older stuff from Pluto and Honest was better, and there were more things he was talking about in that. Yeah, some of it was filler, but still, I enjoyed those two albums more. But this was crap in my opinion. So at number 9, I picked Future, I Never Liked You. Number 8 is Weezer with Season Summer EP. Now, I did not like The Opposite of Me. That was one of the worst songs on that album, and it has a rip-off, in my personal opinion, for the Beatles' Help song. It's like copying that in its own way. I know it's trying not to, but that's how I looked at it when I observed this song and listened to it for myself and gave it a good analyzation. And I'm like, this sounds like Help. And he's saying, yeah, I'm gonna be somebody else, the opposite of me. It just didn't flow right, in my opinion. So, yeah, Weezer Season Summer. I did enjoy Records. That was actually a little better, but it wasn't the best song. It was one of the strong tracks, but still not the best song. Blue Like Jazz was terrible. And yeah, this EP was terrible. So it was one of the worst things. It was worse than Season Spring, in my opinion. And that's saying something. That's not a good thing. So yeah. Number 8, I picked Weezer with Season Summer EP. Number 7 is Beyonce with Renaissance. This album was shit, honestly. I just could not stand this album. The Church Girl song was really bad. Break My Soul was average, but it got repetitive, in my personal opinion. It just. Beyonce kind of slipped up with this album, in my personal opinion. And I just was not connecting with this album at all. So, I knew this was going to be on my worst albums, like I said, but yeah, made it at a lower spot in the top 10. So, number 7 was Beyonce with Renaissance. Number 6 is Black Bear with In Loving Memory. His album sucked. He's so whiny. He complains about his depression so much. And it's like he's using it as a publicity thing. And I'm like, are you fucking for real, dude? That's just. No. Black Bear, you can just suck it, honestly. Your music is shit now, in my opinion. So, I used to like his music, but then I kind of figured out that his music wasn't as good as I thought it was, and it made me come to a realization like, yeah, his music's garbage, and he has a pretty much a predictable song called "Go Fuck Yourself." I'm like, oh, how original. And I'm like, this is just shit, honestly. So, and Dead Inside was probably the only song I could come back to from his new album. And other than that, Toxic Energy was just not very good. It was okay, but it wasn't great. So at number 6 is Black Bear Within Loving Memory. This album sucked, in my personal opinion. And now we're in the top 5, so at number 5 is Drake with Honestly Nevermind. This album was boring as shit, and Drake sounded like bored with making this album. I know he wanted to do something like this, but it just didn't flow right, in my opinion. And the songs were making me want to fall asleep, for sure. And this album was a snooze fest to get through. And I'm like, ugh, this album sucks and is boring and makes me want to go to sleep, kind of shit. And it's making me yawn too, as of now. But yeah, I'm just yawning because of the stuff I'm eating and all that, but still. Drake, Honestly Nevermind, made it at number 5. And at number 4 is Machine Gun Kelly with Mainstream Sellout. This album was shit, honestly. Like, there was Emo Girl, that was the worst thing ever. A was the worst thing ever. Emo Girl was not as bad as A, but it still was bad. Maybe was the only song I came back to a few times, but I haven't really returned to that song in a long time. Boy with Horns, or something like that it was called. Born with Horns, I think it's called. And God Save Me was shit. And also Drug Dealer Girl, that lyric for that song, it was crap. And so was, the Mainstream Sellout, where he's calling out critics, and I'm like, you're just an idiot, dude. I'm like, dude, just get bent, for sure. So, yeah, that's my opinion on Machine Gun Kelly, and he's a fucking idiot and a loser, and he's not gonna even make good music like he did back in the day. Even if he goes to his rap stuff again, goes back to his hip-hop roots, it's not going to be the same. He made 2 terrible albums, which was Tickets to My Downfall and now this album. So yeah, this was going to be on my worst albums because it was shit, it was garbage, and it's not even worth listening to anymore. I haven't really returned to it since I listened to it when it first came out, and I was like, fuck this album. So at number 4 is Machine Gun Kelly with Mainstream Sellout. Number 3 is Scene Queen with Bimbo Core EP. I was a little disappointed with her. I might have been a little too harsh, but with her, because I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to be a super douche in my reviews with her and all that. It's just, in my personal opinion, I wasn't a fan of this. This sucked. And she's pulling off some Kesha metal vibes. That's what I noticed. She's like copying Kesha, but with a more metalcore sound with the hip hop and other experimentation with her music. So this did not work well, and the songs didn't execute very well, in my opinion. Like, Pink Panther was crap. I wasn't impressed with that song. I just really did not like it, and that's just my opinion. So there were other songs like Pink Rover and other songs like that, but other than that, it was not a good EP. So at number 3 was Scene Queen with Bimbo Core EP. And if you thought this was bad, the next one's bad. It's a lot worse. And that's Scene Queen again at number 2 with Bimbo Core Volume 2 EP. I know this came out on November 10th or November 11th, depending on when, but it was not good. So I was really disappointed with this EP and really torn because there was one song, Ken and Barbie, and it was a little bit cringe in my opinion and disturbing too. And the video was disturbing as fuck, as what I should say. But pretty much the rest of the album, like something pink or whatever, I can't remember, But I haven't really returned to this EP since I listened to it, because I personally found it to be garbage, in my opinion, and just not worth listening to it again. So I didn't mean to be mean to Scene Queen, because I don't want her to start feeling upset over my reviews and get into some mental health problems with her or whatever, and make her feel like she wants to do something to herself. That's not my intention, and it may come off that way, where I might drive someone to the point of harming themselves. That's not what I'm trying to do with my reviews. It's just I was a little pissed off with what I listened to with the EP of hers, and I was not impressed with it. So I encourage people to ask for help and call the suicide hotline, of course. The new number, of course, I think 988 or something like that. I'm not sure. But pretty much, yeah. Anyone that's going through that kind of stuff, just call the mental health hotline and all that. So, yeah. But still, in my personal opinion, it wasn't good, and I didn't want to drive this person to the point of that kind of situation. I'm just gonna call it a situation, because I don't want to say the wrong thing and get demonetized for this video, but still, Scene Queen Bimbo Core Volume 2 EP made it at number 2. It wasn't good, and I just personally couldn't connect with the songs. That's basically it. Hopefully she can make better music, but I don't know. We'll just wait and see. And finally, at number 1, drum roll, please. Kid Rock, Bad Reputation. Now, you know this was gonna make it as my number 1, because this album was such horse shit, and this guy is too political, and his politics, he's rubbing his politics in people's faces with his music, and the "Let's Go Brandon" kind of shit, and with that "We the People" song, which was fucking trash, and this dude is fucking horrible of an individual. So yeah, he's a pure-on Republican, which, if you're for the Republican Party, that's your personal choice, but don't go spewing your political beliefs in your songs. That's just gonna really ruin you and make you look like a piece of garbage. So yeah, Kid Rock can go fuck himself for sure. He's a horrible individual, and I would never want to meet him. So yeah, number 1, Kid Rock, Bad Reputation. Even the songs were cringe. He made a lot of country ballad, country vibe kind of songs, and some rock rap songs, and it did not connect very well with this album. And there were other songs. The first song on this album was complete utter garbage, and so on and so on. It was an 18-track album. I had to endure 72 minutes of an 18-track album, and I wanted to give up on this album before that, just to clarify. But still, it was the worst album of the year, and it made it as the worst album of the year. So, Kid Rock, congratulations. You're on my worst albums of 2022, and you made it as worst album of the year for 2022. So, give yourself a pat on the back, douchebag. So, with that being said, that's going to be it for this worst albums of 2022 video. Comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of parts 1 and 2 for worst albums of 2022 videos if you enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed this kind of lengthy video, it's not very lengthy, but who knows, it might drag out to over 15 minutes. But comment below and let me know what you guys thought of the worst albums of 2022 parts 1 and 2 video. They are premiering on November 20th, so definitely tune in to these premiere videos. So tap a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can to support the channel. The next end of the year video is not going to be till the 26th and 27th. So definitely tune into that. I hope you enjoyed this end of the year video for worst albums of 2022 for parts 1 and 2. I did the best I could to make it as good as possible. I'm sorry that I got a little too carried away with calling people out and all that in this video, calling musicians out. It's just, I personally didn't like Scene Queen or Kid Rock this year. And there were other releases I personally couldn't feel for this year. There was 21 of the worst albums this year, so I know Tokyo Hotel had a new album, 2001, and it probably would have been bad, but I didn't want to listen to it. I was like, nah, they're kind of cringy nowadays. So, yeah, with that being said, the next end of the year video is not going to be till next weekend for the 26th and 27th of November, so definitely tune into those next end of the year videos, and I'll have another video coming out before this video comes out for the next Megadeth album review. So until then, stay safe, take care. Thank you for watching the worst albums of 2022 parts 1 and 2 video, and as always, I will see you in my next review.